What is going on, everybody? I welcome you to the first video in learning MySQL or MySQL. So MySQL is one of the most popular and the most demanding software that you guys need to learn. So it's massive, it's very comprehensive, and it's very deep. So if you are in programming and you're learning programming, you might have heard this MySQL or a SQL, our big table, our big database, our big DB, our just a DB, because MySQL is very old and is one of the most effective and very popular around the world. So knowing MySQL guarantee you guys a very good career into the databases, into the programming, into web development, into Python development, Java development, because MySQL have APIs for almost every language that I know of. It has an API for C++, it has an API for PHP, it has an API for Python, it has an API for Java, it has API for almost every programming language. So MySQL is very important. So you cannot underestimate MySQL. Knowing MySQL is very important if you guys looking for a very good career, or if you guys looking for to continue your study into be computer scientist, or if you guys want to dive deep into algorithms or mathematics sides of the MySQLs, because MySQL is very powerful, it's very effective, and it's for something for that every program needs to learn. All right, so we begin this series of showing you guys MySQL. We're going to show you guys all the aspects of MySQL. First, begin with, we're going to start with the introduction of MySQL, what MySQL is briefly, and then we're going to go on the history, who invented MySQL, when the MySQL came to being, and who owns MySQL, and what's the version of the MySQL, if the MySQL is open source or closed source. We're going to show you guys everything, because there is another version of the MySQL. It's called MariaDB. When you guys learning a program, you guys should be familiar with the name. Why it's called MySQL and what is SQL. All right, so and then we're going to introduce you all the database, and then we're going to go towards the advanced level of MySQL, because MySQL is so huge, and because it has an API for every languages. So every language they got their own version. Microsoft, they have a MS Access, say for example, and Oracle, which have MySQL as well, because they owns the MySQL at the moment. There is another version of the MySQL, because MySQL is open source, and I'm going to show you guys what is open source. And there is another version of the MySQL which called MariaDB. That's exactly same as MySQL. You guys has the same command, it has the same structure. It has you guys create the same tables, you guys can create the same rows and columns, whatever you guys create. It has the same engine, and it's in some ways MariaDB is a very advanced level of MySQL, because it's open source. And being an open source, because it's open, it's not closed like Microsoft. It has just a specific number of developers in one building, or in one company. But open source is developers spread all around the world. Everyone can contribute a little bit. So if everyone contribute a little bit of just 1 cent or $1, if you have 1 million contributors, you're gonna have a $1 million. So if you have 50 million people contribute to you, even $1 a day, even $1, you're gonna have a 50 million. So that's the power of MySQL, because it's open source, and every developer around the world can contribute a little bit. They can find all the page ups, and they can develop the MySQL at the rapid speed. So being is open source, it means you guys can use it without paying any money. It's free and open source. You guys can use it for PHP. If you guys are very serious of learning, want to learn HTML, and want to make databases, you guys need to learn MySQL, because in a short, every web developer needs to know MySQL. MySQL is very advanced, and you guys, there is no way you guys can create a PHP program, or you guys can create a web program without MySQL, because MySQL is the database, our storage for the, say for example, your database. Say for example, Facebook uses MariaDB, Twitter uses MariaDB, Alibaba uses MariaDB. All these massive companies use, why they use MariaDB or MySQL? MySQL, because this is the where the storage happens, where all the users it stores, it remembers all the users names, date of birth, friends, all the photos, images, all the videos, whatever you guys can think of, that it goes all the way to MySQL and stores there somewhere in the MySQL. And the one thing is the very good about the MySQL is once you guys keep putting the data, it keeps storing the data, and it grows big and big and big and big and big and big and huge. And because it's structured, it means you guys can store it, access it easily, and you guys manipulate the data. You guys can bend the data. You guys can do whatever you guys want with the data. So knowing MySQL is one very important, and I welcome you guys again to learn MySQL with Wood. Alright, so without further ado, we're gonna start our MySQL. The first one is we're gonna see introduction to MySQL. As you guys gonna see, there is a dolphin here, and it says MySQL. This is the logo of the MySQL. So keep in mind that's a logo, and we're gonna say why there is a dolphin here, why it says MySQL, because SQL by itself structured query language, so it pronounced as a SQL too. So keep in mind when you hear SQL, it means it's SQL. So MySQL is a free and open source and is one of the most popular database available in the world. As I said to you guys before, MySQL delivers a very fast, multi-threaded, multi-user and robust SQL structured query language database server. And soon in the future videos, we're gonna show you what we mean by the database server. So it's a multi-threaded. It means it's can open, say for example, you guys downloading something, it downloads the one thread, then you guys put another thread, download another one, it goes to another thread. So it's a process within the many process. So one process creates many other small processes within itself. So that's called multi-threaded. It's multi-user because not just one user can access, because you can have many users. You can have almost say for example, if one person comes in the database, then the person can grant access to as many people as you like, as he or she likes. Say for example, Facebook created by one guy, and this guy can grant another 100 managers access, and that 100 manager can grant another 200 assistant manager access. So it's a multi-user, so anyone can use it as long as the person has authority and as long as has a privilege. So it's called privilege. If you guys don't have a privilege, it means you guys cannot access the MySQL. So and as a multi-user, so anyone can use them the MySQL, and that's what it creates, because MySQL is very fast and it's multi-threaded, multi-user. That's what it makes it's very popular, and of course it's very robust SQL structured query language. So SQL by itself is a database server, so it's a server. And if you guys don't understand server, don't worry, and it's the upcoming videos I'm gonna put one specific slide just for the server. So I'm gonna make sure you guys understand the server at the end of the day. Alright, so MySQL servers is intended for mission critical, heavy loaded production systems, as well as for embedding into mass deployed software. So MySQL is intended for mission critical, very critical, heavy loaded production systems. Say for example, Facebook, or in the case of Alibaba, or in the case of say for example Twitter, where in 1 minute or an hour gigabytes and gigabytes of data is flowing inside this MySQL. So it's heavy loaded. It's called heavy loaded. It means it can handle all this heavy loaded production. As you guys know, there is we have two environment. We have a production environment and we have a development environment. So as a computer programmer, you guys need to know the development side of the software and the production side of the software. So it's a production means it's ready. Your software is ready. First, your software first goes into development mode. Once you guys development, and then you guys gonna put it in production. It means it goes live in the system and people can use your software. As well as for embedding into mass deployed software, you guys can embed as well into mass deployed software. Mass is means it's a huge deployment of the software. So in MySQL is the name of the daughter of the co-founder Michael Videnius. Some people call it Videnius, or I call it Videnius. And SQL stands for structured query language. So if you see here, my is the name of the daughter of the founder, co-founder. It's called my Mr. Michael Videnius. The name of the MySQL dolphin is Sakila. If you look in here, there is a dolphin in every MySQL, because this logo is from MySQL, which was chosen by the founders of the MySQL AB. And keep in mind, the MySQL is the guy here, this Michael Videnius. He's a Swedish. So the name of the MySQL dolphin is Sakila, which was chosen by the founders of the MySQL AB, suggested by Ambrose Bazi. So my apology if I'm pronouncing it a bit weird or wrong, but Ambrose Bazi, so a software developer from Swaziland, Africa. According to Ambrose, the name Sakila has its roots in Sisiwati, the local language of Swaziland. So this is a brief introduction of the MySQL. Why there is a dolphin here, you guys, if before just looking at the MySQL, you guys see the dolphin. Why there is even dolphin here? Why there is it's MySQL? Why is SQL? As I said, it's SQL. Some people pronounce it SQL, and it stands for Structured Query Language. So now you know that why the MySQL dolphin is Sakila. So this dolphin here, the blue dolphin here, is Sakila, which was chosen by the founder of the MySQL because they held a competition to. They didn't know what to put this as a trademark, so they didn't know that. So they held in an open source community. As I said to you guys, open source communities around the world with the millions and millions of developers. So they organized competition. They said who can suggest a very good logo that represents our company. And this free is open source software developer from Swaziland is called Ambrose Tuibazi, and he came in and with this logo, and the creators of the MySQL AB, they liked this logo, and they put it. And according to Ambrose, the name Sakila has its roots in Sisiwati, the local language of the Swaziland. So this is the dolphin. When you guys see the dolphin, it means this dolphin is the language of Sisiwati, the language of the Swaziland. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys liked the video, thumbs up. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.